welcome back to my channel. I am Neva, this is Reading with Neva, and today we are starting a new themed reading vlog. So I'm going to start this vlog out by giving a little bit of an update about my channel and where I am headed as far as content. I have kind of dabbled this year with doing different vlog styles, and for a while I was doing week in the life style vlogs where it was just like what I was reading. I did a couple of like what I read in a week kind of vlogs, where it was just me reading books and then updating as I read them. They were kind of like weekly wrap-ups, and I've decided that I think the best way for me to keep on top of everything is just to do themed vlogs. So when I think of a vlog that I want to film that is themed, I will film it, I will edit it, and then it will go up. I don't know what my upload schedule looks like for that. I know that there is a current upload schedule over on my community tab if you want to look at that, and I'm kind of going to keep to that, but it's going to be as I get content made. So you'll always have a Monday morning sprint that usually lasts 8 to 10 hours. But as far as like actual content where I sit down, it takes me a little while longer to really make good content for y'all. And so I would rather put out less content but better quality, if that makes sense. So today's themed vlog is the BookTubers Choose the Pages I Read Every Day challenge. I changed it a little bit. This was started by someone. I will link the person down below. I saw my friend Brittany do this, and then but Brittany got it from someone else. I know that the second name on her channel, I can see it in my brain. It's something Catherine, but I will link her down below. I do follow her, and I did watch her video when it came out, and I thought it was a really good idea. And then Brittany did it, I think, last week or the week before. And so I will link both of them. Catherine. Yes, Catherine. So I will link both Catherine and my friend Brittany down below, so you can go watch their videos if you want. But I'm changing it a little bit. They asked people, I think 7 friends or 7 booktubers, to pick a number between 0 and 400. I know that my capacity to read that many pages in a day is non-existent, so I'm doing 0 to 200. So I did ask 7 friends, but I'm only going to give you the friend as the day is going. So we're starting it today. Today is Monday, and we're going to run this until Sunday, which is really going to be fun because I actually, the week that I'm filming this, I have 24-hour sprints this weekend, so it's going to be really interesting, because I have more pages on Saturday than I do on Friday, so I have to kind of figure out how I'm going to do that because I'll be up for the 24-hour sprints. But I asked 7 of my booktube friends to give me a number between 0 and 200, and today's numbers were given to me by Rainy, and she gave me 187. So I'm going to be reading Daisy Jones and the Six. I do have all of my books picked out, but I'm going to show them as I'm reading them and not all at once. Originally I was just going to be like, these are the books I'm reading this week, but I think it's more fun in case I decide to change books at some point, just to show you one book at a time. So currently I am reading Daisy Jones and the Six. I have read this book before. I read this in like 2022, I think, when I bought it. But I'm listening to the audio this time, and I'm loving the audiobook. So this is the story of Daisy Jones and the band The Six. This takes place in in the late 60s, I think. Yes, the 60s into the 70s, I do believe. So this is taking place in like the early 60s into the late 70s, and we're following Daisy, who lives in LA, and she is noticed for her singing talent. And then we're following, she gets noticed by the band The Six, and that's how they become Daisy Jones and the Six. So it is just that. It's very like Stevie Nicks coded, I feel. and it's a fun time. It's also written in like interview format because it reads, it's fiction, but it's supposed to read like it is a biography or a memoir. It reads like nonfiction, but it's fiction. So I'm really enjoying this. I am currently on page, because I did start this morning, so I'm currently on page 40, because I am doing my sprints right now. So I'm currently on page 40, and I need to get to page 187. So this is the bookmark for where I am in the book, and this is the bookmark for where I need to get. So once I get to page 187, I will stop for the day, because I'm not reading less pages, obviously, but I'm also not reading more pages for this vlog than what I'm given. So I read the exact amount of pages that I am given for that day. So I'm going to go listen to this, and when I get done with my pages for the day, I will come and check in. Friends, good evening. So I'm about to go off to bed, but I wanted to come in and update really quick for this so you guys can know that I did finish my pages for today. So I did read 187 pages today in Daisy Jones and the Six, which puts me just about halfway through this book. So tomorrow I may finish this. It will depend on how many pages. I don't have my phone sitting here, so I can't check to see how many pages I have to read for tomorrow. So I will come back and check in with you in the morning. But I wanted you to know that I did listen to 187 pages. It left me in the middle of a chapter, which I don't love, but I'm trying to stay true to this challenge and not read more than the pages that I'm supposed to be reading. So that's what I read. Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm really loving this as an audio. I don't know if I said this already, but I will say it again. I do think that I like the narrator for Daisy Jones in this book more voice-wise than I liked the actress in the show. So I did read this book in 2021 or 2022. And I gave it 5 stars. I really loved it. I love the way it was written. It's written to be interview style, so it's like a memoir kind of thing. But it's written like interviews that you would read like in a magazine or watch on TV. So it's written, it's fiction, but it's written like it's nonfiction. I'm really enjoying that. I will say that the narrator that they chose to do Daisy Jones in this, her voice is much raspier and deeper. It's more of a Stevie Nicks style of voice. And I didn't feel like we got that in the show. But otherwise, yeah, I absolutely love this. And I think that the show did a good job of like adaptation wise as well. So I will get back to this in the morning. But I wanted you to know that I did hit my 187 pages. So I will pick this back up tomorrow, and I will see you then. Hello friends, good morning. So we have to read today for our pages. So I'm going to pull up my phone, let you know how many pages I have to read, and then we're going to talk about what I'm going to read for said pages. So today is Katy. Katy gave me pages for today, and she gave me 199, which is not quite 200, but it's almost 200. So I am going to finish Daisy Jones and the Six. So yesterday I read 187 pages of this, and there are 350. So we're gonna do some math because I'm not a mathematician. So 187 plus 350 minus 187. So that's 163 pages. So I have to read 199. So 199 minus 163 is 36. So I'm going to finish Daisy Jones and the Six, the audio today, and then we're going to read 36 pages of Tress of the Emerald Sea, and I will take this sticker off. This book works for I don't know that it works for TBR Harvest, but it does work for Fabelin. So this works for the gem in a title prompt, Emerald. I think a lot of us are actually reading this right now for that prompt. So I'm going to read this. This was the easiest book for me to pick up, to read for that prompt. And I didn't have like a book that had a gem on it. I don't remember what the other one, oh, Birthstone, which mine is Topaz, so I guess I could have read a yellow book, but this is also on my fall TBR, so I decided to go ahead and pick this up, get it over with. I like Brandon Sanderson, so I'm hoping that I like it. But it does not look like Tress works for TBR Harvest. However, Daisy Jones and the Six did work for TBR Harvest. So this is working for a book to film adaptation. This was made into a TV show on Hulu, HBO Max? No, Amazon. Lord have mercy. This was made into a TV show on Amazon. If you've read this book and you haven't watched the show, I highly recommend it. I really did like the show. And I read the book before I watched the show. I just didn't do an audiobook. And then I will read 36 pages of Chest of the Emerald Sea. Oh, this also works for Fabelin for the revisit a book prompt. So I'll be fulfilling that today. And then we'll be starting Tress of the Emerald Sea. And there's only 36 pages of this that I have to actually read. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the 36 pages. I do have this one as an audio as well. I got audio for all of the books. There's only 3. But for all of the books that I will be reading for this prompt, or for this video, I did get the audios just because I knew that that would make it go a little bit faster for me. So that's what we're doing. And I'm about to get on some sprints with Leandra, but 36 pages takes us to the last 2 pages of a chapter. This is going to be the bane of my existence, leaving off in the middle of chapters, but it's fine, because for this, I don't read more and I don't read less. So we're going to finish Daisy Jones, and then we're going to pick up Tress of the Emerald Sea. That's what we're doing. So when I get these pages done, probably by the end of the day, I will come and check in with you. I'm hoping to get these done like before dinner, but I don't know that that is realistic. But we're going to try. 199 pages. I'll see y'all in a bit. Friends, sorry for the wind. It's pretty windy today, but it's quieter to film outside than it is filming in my house. So today we're going to talk about this vlog. So I read my 199 pages yesterday, so I finished Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm giving this a 6-star rating. I really like this book. I looked to see when I read this before. I guess I gave it 4.75 originally, and that might have just been because of the format that I read it in. So originally I read it as a paper book, and then I just listened to the audiobook for the first time. Really loved it, so I'm giving it 6 stars. Absolutely love this book. Absolutely recommend it. I also did really like the show, so I recommend that as well, and it's on Amazon Prime. Then I went ahead and read 36 pages of Tress of the Emerald Sea, because that was the only way for me to get to the full 199 pages. So I am on page 36 of this, and I'm about a page and a half away from, or half a page away from chapter 7. So far, I don't really have a lot of thoughts about this book. It's fine. I do like the characters. I do care about them. I do care to see what happens in this book. So, Tress of the Emerald Sea. Okay, so today, my friend who picked my pages is Amy from Amy's Bookish Life. If I remember, I will put pictures of all my friends next to me, but the next person to pick is Amy from Amy's Bookish Life, and she picked 116, so let me count what that would be, because 100 pages would be 136, and then 10 would be 146, right? Yeah, and then 16, so that's 10, 11, 12, 13, so that should be 152. I'm going to use my calculator just to make sure that that's correct. because I am not a mathematician. So yes, 36 plus 116 is 152. So today I will be reading to page 152, which brings us not quite halfway. This is where that bookmark is. Not quite halfway, but getting closer. So I will be reading 152 pages of Tress today, which will take us to the second page of chapter 28. So we're gonna get a chunk of this book read today. I do have the audiobook. I have audiobooks for all the books that I picked for this vlog, but I do have the audiobook for this. But I did find myself immersion reading this a little bit yesterday just to kind of get my footing. So I may immersion read more of this today if I feel that immersion reading is what I should do, but otherwise I'm just going to listen to the audio, and I will come back and I will either check in when I finish tonight, or I will come in the morning and check in so we can find out our next batch of pages. Hello friends, so I finished Amy's pages yesterday, and I'm here to just kind of update you on where we are with that. So I did read to page 152 in Tress of the Emerald Sea, and we're going to go ahead and look. I'm going to look at my thing here and see what pages I need to read next. I will say this book is fine. I switched over to graphic audio, which I don't usually do graphic audio, but the graphic audio is making me enjoy this book way more. I'm a little bit bored, I guess. I don't feel like there's really a lot going on. I just feel like they're kind of just on a boat. That's kind of what I feel like. Tress is on an adventure to find the man that she loves, and in doing this, she has illegally gained passage on a boat. I will say that the boats, they're like sky boats. They're not like sea boats. So, and there's like a lot of talk about these spores that if they are touched with any kind of liquid, so that can be blood, water, what have you, they like explode. But this isn't really a me book, I don't think, but I'm gonna finish it because I'm almost halfway through it, and I'm not feeling like I want to DNF it. Like, I want to know what happens, but it won't be my favorite Brandon Sanderson, unfortunately. But it does work for Phelan, so I do want to finish it, and it's fine. It's a very mid book for me so far. I liked the beginning of this book way more than I like where we are now. Like the beginning half of this book, I liked it a lot, and then she made passage onto the boats, and I kind of stopped, not caring, but it wasn't as good of a time, I guess. So so the next person that we have for this challenge is Margaret, and Margaret gave me 122. So I am on page 152. So 100 pages would be 252. That's 100 pages, and then 22 more pages would be 274, I believe, if I did my math right, which we're going to double check with the calculator. And everybody really loves leaving me just middle of chapters. It's fine. Okay, so let me just double check. So 152 plus 122 is 274. So I will be reading to page 274, and that will bring us to chapter 50. And yeah, and then we'll see what we will be doing for the next bit. So I'm gonna go read these next 122 pages, and then I'll come back, I'll check in. By then we'll be, so this is where my bookmark is right now. This is where I stopped, and this is where we're gonna read to. So we'll be almost done. We'll have, I think, like 100 pages left, a little less than 100 pages left, like 95-ish pages left. So we'll see where that takes us. tomorrow. So I'm gonna go read these pages and then I will be back to check in when I am done. Friends, the lighting in here is not great, but I wanted to come in and let you know that I have finished my pages for today. So I have successfully read 122 pages, which was from Margaret. So we are moving on, and today, well, not from today, from yesterday. I said pages from today. So I read my pages from yesterday. I finished these last night. And I'm now going to be starting my Brianna pages, and I have 112 Brianna pages that I have to read. So between today and tomorrow, I will have pages that I have to read during the 24-hour sprints, since we are on 24-hour sprints. So today I'm going to be reading 112 pages from Brianna from Four Paws in a Book. So I will be finishing Tress and Tress of the Emerald Sea, and then I will finish that, and then I will be reading 22 pages of Take My Hand, because these are the two books that I have that I am reading for this vlog. So I will finish out Tress, and then I will pick up Take My Hand and read 22 pages of that, and I will be back when that is done, and with my final thoughts on Tress also. Hello friends, I am here to update this vlog. So I have finished the pages for today. So Brianna gave me 112 pages and I have finished those pages. So I finished Tress of the Emerald Sea. I'm giving this 3.5 stars. It was fine. The ending and like the twist that we get at the end is really what made me give it a higher rating. Originally this was sitting at a pretty solid mid 3. Like it was sitting very mid for me. However, after I finished, the twist made it so that I'm giving it 3.5. So I'm giving this one 3.5. And then I did start Take My Hand. I read 22 pages of this because that made for 112 pages in total. I had like less than 100 pages in Tress. So I did read 22 pages of this, and so far it's good. So this takes place in 2 timelines, and it takes place in 1973 and also in 2015. So 2016. So this is 2 timelines, 1973 and 2016. The 2016 is supposed to be like present day. So she's telling the story in 1973 as like an old woman, I think, is how we're supposed to be reading this. So far this is really good. However, I'm only 22 pages in. So let's check and see who has the next round of pages. So Julie is the next person, and she gave me 73 pages. So I will be reading to page 94 in this book, and I think it's gonna be great. So yeah, theoretically I'm not going to finish this book in this vlog. However, I think I will come back at the end of the vlog and let you know my final thoughts on this book. However, I'm going to read to page 94 today, and that will probably give me more to talk about with this book. And then so I'm gonna go read that and then I'll be back. Good morning. So I have read my 70 something pages. Let me check. 73 pages. I have done that. So now I'm on, today is the last day. So Kelsey gave me 50 pages. So I'm going to read that. I don't remember exactly how many pages that is, but I will come back later and let you know. Because I don't have the book in front of me, but I do have the audio. So I'm making coffee, I'm gonna make breakfast, and then we're gonna read the last 50 pages for this vlog, and then I'll come back and we will chat about what the rest of this vlog is gonna look like. So I'm gonna read 50 pages of Take My Hand. So far I'm really liking this book. It's historical fiction, but it's Black historical fiction, so I am really enjoying it, and I will be back after I finish the next 50 pages.